Hi, I'm Whitney.
And I am Taylor. And we're the Ghost Sisters. So today we are talking, I say in German. Okay, I don't know how to do a Spanish accent. Today we're talking about...
Yeah, so doing La Llorona. I started to do the German thing, and then that kind of turned into a weird spiral, but now I have an idea, so we'll do that later.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So, just by the way, sorry you guys, I am quote unquote on location. So where I'm at, there is a train that randomly comes by. So no, it's not like a ghost train. It's a literal train, but hopefully you guys don't hear it. And also, I can't turn the fan off. So if there's weird noise or the bed that I'm sitting on is squeaky. So super duper sorry.
Yes, she is currently... She's working, but she's also ghost hunting at the moment. So that's exciting. Yeah. So
maybe we'll have an episode for you guys. With things.
With things.
Cool.
We will have both the lake episode and then also the current hotel that she's staying in. So
yeah,
I did finally finish the evidence review for the lake, and the second that we can do it, we will do the evidence review for that. So stay tuned. It will be very interesting.
That's what I keep being told. So I will find out when you guys find out. So
yes. So
cool.
All right, I'll shut up now. You can go into La Llarona.
Yeah. So La Llarona, it means the weeping woman. So Taylor, I appreciate you giving those to me because I know I cry a lot, but I'm not the weeping woman, especially all of the tales and stuff. Definitely not me, bro. Sorry. I just cry. So anyways, it's La Llorona, the weeping woman. So yeah, if you see La Llorona, chances are that she is in either a long white dress or a long black dress. She normally has a matching veil or rebozo.
Okay.
That's the term for it, I guess. I don't actually know what that is, but I believe it's a front-facing veil thing. She's been seen in either the white dress or the black dress. I haven't seen reports saying she's predominantly in a black dress or anything, just either one. I guess whatever suits her fancy that night is what she decides to wear.
It's whatever she feeling.
Yeah, she feeling black? Go for it, man.
Girl, you are wearing that dress.
You are wearing that dress. Yeah, so she also is said to be a very beautiful Mexican woman with long black hair that can go almost down to her butt. So she working it, man.
She working it.
So the other part though is that it said that her face has no features.
Oh, so maybe not working it too much.
Maybe not. I mean, she working something, but not her face.
Not her face.
So, not her face. I've also seen reports of her having just a skull for a face.
Ugh. That's horrific.
And then I haven't seen reports, I haven't seen stories saying this, but I have seen in some of the quote unquote legends that she could also have a horse head.
How very random. That is super random.
There's been stuff she could be riding a horse, she could be near a horse, but apparently she could also just be a horse, but not Sarah Jessica Parker horseface.com, but she has an actual horse head.
Yes.
Not long face horse kind of thing. So yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So obviously, the weeping woman, she is normally heard crying or weeping, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
She may just choose to send off a deafening scream if you get close to her.
Yep. I've actually, I've seen some videos that they claim that La Llorona was close by, and the screams are horrific.
I from what it sounds like, I bet. So, who is Llarona? There is no definite answer. What? Why are you? You look like you're going to laugh at me for something.
Because you said, who is La Llorona? I immediately went, what
Who is
La
Bob
Llorona?
Belcher?
Yes. What is Bob Belcher? Why is Bob Belcher?
Bob Belcher. No. So, okay. I found a few. I mean, obviously, she is like an urban legend kind of thing.
Mhm.
Or not an urban legend. What is it?
A myth?
Just a legend?
Yeah, just a legend.
A myth. She's a myth.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna get into all of the different possible versions that this lady could be. Because goddamn,
dang, okay.
I went. There's even like I was in the middle of doing it, and I was like, oh, I could go even further, and then I was like, there's not enough time. But I mean, the general concept is the same once you really like get down to the nitty gritty of it. So like, it's fine. This is actually from ghostcitytours.com. I mean, where I got a lot of this info from. This particular tale is not specific to ghostcity.com. It's just, that's where I did my stuff from. Okay, so
fair enough.
Xochitl was the daughter of a peasant who managed to catch the eye of a rich, well-to-do man. And I put in my notes, "What's up, Cinderella?" So the two ended up getting married. Some sources say they openly got married, and some say that that was a secret because, peasant, rich man, bad thing.
Sure.
Whatever. So eventually they end up having two kids. After a while, she starts to notice that her husband becomes distant, uninterested, the thing. And then one night he tells her that he's actually fallen in love with someone else. And
yeah, we've all been there.
I mean, meh. In some stories, in some sources, the dude actually brings the chick back to their house and is like, this lady right here, I love her.
Oh my god. That is ballsy and that's harsh.
Right? What the fuck, dude? So anyways, in either story, whether he brings the lady or not, he denounces Xochitl and their kids as his family and kicks them out of the house.
Goodness.
What she ends up doing is, out of rage, she drowns her children in the river because they are spawn of him and he hurt her. So she kills them.
Okay. I'm not following that logic, but sure.
I honestly, I don't have any way to defend that because there's no, no, sorry, Xochitl, you did it wrong.
Exactly.
But so that's one story, and then there's another story that's pretty similar, and it's actually to earn the affection of a wealthy man. She drowns her two children that are from a previous marriage or partner in the river, so that he will be with her, and I don't think he is with her in the end. So
if I was that rich dude and she was like, look, babe, I totally drowned these two children for you, I'd be like, okay, psycho. Like, I'm not coming near you.
calling the cops. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then another story, this is actually a specific to Texas story, which I found interesting because that was like one of the first ones that I had seen. This is from Austin. Oh my God. AustinGhosts.com.
Austin.
What?
Austin. That's the family. That's the fancy version of Austin.
I know. My brain was just like, Austin. So anyways, Austin. From AustinGhosts.com. La Llorona was a woman who drowned her children to save them from being murdered by a band of Native Americans. So this is the story in Texas. Stop making the face. So what?
That's not. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so let me get into the story. God damn, Taylor. Okay. So apparently the story is that the Native Americans found the woman and were going to, kill her and her children. So to save them from a terrible fate, she drowned them herself. Whenever the Native Americans actually found her to come let out this terrible deed, they started to come closer to her, and she let out a horrible, deafening scream, and it caused them to run away in fear, leaving her alive, but without her children.
I kind of get the whole, like, there's nothing I can do to stop these people, so I might as well. Drowning is such a terrible way to die. Like, that is.
You could replace drowning also with stabbing, because I saw some sources that said stabbing. The general is that she drowned them, but there were a few sources that said in different stories she stabbed them. So,
Okay.
I don't know, maybe a mercy killing would be better as a stabbing than a drowning. I
Agreed.
have no
Yeah.
intention of doing a mercy killing, so it's not something I thought about.
Yeah. I have no intention of killing anybody ever.
Yeah, so like I've never thought about that. So that was one story for Texas. The other one, very similar, is that a family with a man, woman, and a child, their place was found by Native Americans, and for some reason they decided to brutally murder the man and the child and make the woman watch, and she was going to be next, and then she, of course, ended up dying and having the same fate as the man and the child. And that's who Llarona is the woman who had to watch her husband and her child be murdered by Native Americans.
Huh, okay.
Texas, wild, man.
It's such a... I know, Texas has a very different idea of La Llorona versus... Or at least that particular story has a different idea of La Llorona.
So one of them was from, like I said, that one website. The other one was from a news website that for San Antonio. So oddly enough, that I was like, okay, sure, it's worth stating because it's just different than the others.
Right.
But they, according to both the news article and the other website, you can find La Llorona at the aptly named Woman Hollering Creek. Legit named Woman Hollering Creek.
Okay, so we're going there, right?
Yeah, so it's actually located in St. Hedwig, Texas. It's a small town that's east of San Antonio, just south of I-10, like between San Antonio and Seguin. So yeah, we can go there. There was oh my gosh, I forget what his channel is, but it was on that news site. If I find it, I'll let you know, and then we can put it in the show notes or something. But he took his like crew out there to do some investigating at Woman Hollering Creek, and they didn't find anything.
That's fair. That's not surprising in the very least.
It was like a Ghost Adventures episode watching, because they were like, oh my God, those are bobcat tracks. And you're like, you didn't find anything. And then you like watch a video of like a spider going up a tree, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you didn't find anything. Like, stop showing me random shit. So
yeah, that's our thing for context. Anytime Ghost Adventures has a whole bunch of B-roll or has a whole segment of Zach just being dumb with the guys, we both text each other, they didn't find anything.
This is just a waste of time.
Yeah, they're just filling.
So if you want, we can go check it out sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And yeah, so those were the only ones for Texas. Those are the only ones that involve Native Americans. So like, and I mean, majority of the stories have nothing to do with anyone else killing her children except for her. So,
Okay. Interesting.
So this one is from the National Museum of American History. So interesting.
Okay.
It is also said that La Llorona is an Aztec goddess called Tique, who can be heard weeping for her Aztec children on the eve of the Spanish conquest, when Hernan Cortez. Henry Cortez. Don't laugh at me, man.
Amazing.
Names are hard. Okay, so when Hernan, God fucking damn it. Okay. I will make it through this stupid thing. Okay. So, Aztec goddess who can be heard weeping for her Aztec children on the eve of the Spanish conquest, when Hernan Cortez and his band of men took down the Aztec Empire in Mexico on August 13th, 1521. They did so with not just better weapons, but also a nice outbreak of smallpox.
As the white man often does.
I mean,
that's what we do.
That's how men
we bring disease.
Conquer. We just, just cough on everyone and make terrible shit happen.
Legit.
Okay, so she could also possibly be the goddess. There's no way I can pronounce this name. Chalchutilku? The jade skirted one is what it comes out to. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm really bad about it.
You're trying, man.
I never thought I would have to pronounce Aztec names, so it was not something that I beefed up on. So yeah.
I didn't study Aztec in school.
Yeah, it didn't come across in my classes. So she could be the goddess of the jade skirted one, who was apparently the goddess of waters, and she would just kind of drown people. I didn't.
I mean, it's like gods, like the Greek gods and stuff like that. They just do shit because they're bored.
Yeah. So, which Greek gods do come into this too, a little bit.
Oh, that's surprising.
I'm trying to remember where I put it. Oh, there it is. But yeah, she apparently just would drown people. I didn't get into the mythology of the Aztec gods and goddesses, but now I kind of want to because they sound rough. I mean, what the fuck?
Sure.
So, but anyway,
Aztecs were very vengeful people. Like or at least as far as I know, please don't be offended, but that's my understanding is that they were a very vengeful, the gods would just take what they wanted and they needed to sacrifice in order to please them and all that kind of stuff.
So in order to appease this goddess, the Aztecs would actually honor her by sacrificing their own children in the rivers.
Hey!
Look at that. So there's theories that it could be one of these two goddesses because one of them was sad about the oncoming conquest of the Aztec Empire, and then the other one just because apparently she likes to drown people and she would get children, I guess.
We all have hobbies.
Some better than others, but okay.
Ours is ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Hers is drowning people.
Yeah. So speaking of Cortez, some actually believe that La Llorona is actually La Malinche. She was one of Cortez's main interpreters and possibly one of his lovers.
Probably one of his lovers.
Except there's really no historical evidence that proves that she was in a relationship with Cortez in any way, shape, or form, aside from just being his interpreter. But it is believed that she was one of the mistresses that was with him. And she did give birth to one of Cortez's children. But Cortez put her aside and actually married his first wife and then married her off to one of his men. So she then murdered Cortez's child as revenge. Again, there's no historical records indicating that La Malinche murdered her children. So because she was a real woman and she is in history books and everything, but there's no evidence whatsoever to confirm or deny that she had a child or killed it. So,
Okay, fair enough.
So La Llorona's legend actually parallels a lot with Greek mythology, like what you were saying. Goddess Lamia, where Hera, the wife of Zeus, found out about his affair with Lamia, killed all of the children that she had with Zeus.
Damn, that man was busy, so it's probably a lot of kids.
Yeah, Zeus was a horn dog, and Hera...
I feel like even that was putting it lightly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Greek mythology is wild. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like between Lamia and Hera, they both just out of fits of rage and jealousy of Zeus cheating on one or the other, just killed children.
Okay.
Hera killed children of Zeus, and all I have is that Lamia killed other children. I mean, if you are big into Greek mythology, let me know because, what the fuck? Why aren't we mad at Zeus?
Right. Why is it always the other woman that's mad at the other woman? Why are you not mad at the man who's doing the damn thing?
You were not. I mean, unless you were a willing participant, okay.
Right.
But you are not the one that should be mad. Okay. Ladies love each other. Unless you're a twat. Don't love them. Anyways.
Relationship advice from the Ghost Sisters.
Don't be a twat. It's pretty simple.
Don't be a twat. It is real simple.
So basically, like I said, all of the stories in the end, except for the Texas ones, involve a woman who killed her children because of a man in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Those versions will vary depending on where you're from, where you're brought up. your family's personal beliefs or anything like that. As far as what happened to her in those scenarios, there's a few where she herself died. Either she committed suicide or she was murdered by the townspeople who witnessed her killing children in a lake or a river. Or even I read some that, like, for, the wealthy man, it was like her house servants or whatever that they drowned her because they witnessed it and they were like, what the fuck? So they killed her.
They were like, we're fucking next if we don't do something about it.
She's so mad about those tables. She killed the children. I'm next. So yeah, so those are just like some of the legends. There was not like one particular one that I saw more than the other. It seemed like every single source that I found had something different. Like, even if it was similar, there would be like a detail here or there changed. Like, maybe she wasn't in a river, maybe she was in a lake, or she was in this weird ass creek. Like, details just change. So there's no like one way or another. It's whatever you believe.
Interesting.
So, as I said, she can be heard crying very close to unsuspecting people and yet be very far away. So if you hear her very close, she's said to actually be pretty far away. However, if you hear her kind of far away, she's actually like right next to you. Aside from that, she might chase you. She's not one to like come at you and like try to grab you or anything like that.
That's good.
But she might like chase you home and hide in the shadows. So if you like are at the lake or something and you're like, oh shit, I heard a scream, and you start to run, like she may be chasing you just like hidden, but don't stop running. Every source that I found was like, get the fuck out of there. Keep running. So
no bueno.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She also, if you're like driving around, she can apparently, it said she can appear suddenly in your car and then disappear. But then it also said that she could appear in your horse-drawn buggy. So, like, I don't know when that article was written because, like, what? I don't know when we've had horse-drawn buggies.
I often go for a quick joyride in my horse-drawn buggy.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean,
my horse's name is Chauncey.
It goes back to Chauncey. It went to Chauncey last time too.
Always.
So yeah, if you are not in your horse-drawn carriage buggy thing, she can just whoop into your car and then whoop out of your car.
I don't like that.
She can be seen, like I said, she could be seen riding a horse or like walking with a horse or apparently be a horse.
Or she is the damn horse.
Named Chauncey, apparently. Chauncey. Normally, whenever she is crying and weeping, it's not just like, like what I do, but she also can be heard saying, and I'm very sorry, it's normally in Spanish. I do not speak Spanish, so it's going to be in English, but she says the phrases in Spanish. So normally she will say like, oh, my children, or oh, my sons. She may also cry out, where are my sons, or where are my children?
¿Dónde está mi hijo?
Yeah. Well, good for you. Way to go.
Oh, mis hijos.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound like cute and adorable like you say it. It's more like,
Yeah, no, it's horrific.
A pain wailed kind of screech.
Yeah. My emotions.
She doesn't need to go here. So for the most part, she is seen near a river or a lake or some type of water. Other people have said that they actually see her in their dreams. Apparently that's like a big thing for like adults, is they will see her in their dreams. Oh, and then I don't know, I apparently didn't put this in the right spot. She'll attack cheating husbands.
That sounds about right.
So she'll just like attack. So she apparently, unlike the two Greek goddesses, understands it's the one that's cheating that's the problem, Yeah. Greek goddesses need to figure their shit out from La Llorona.
Legit.
aside from attacking cheating husbands, she will lure children out to lakes and rivers and will drown them in place of her own children. She will beg the heavens for forgiveness as she drowns children that she lured.
Yep, that's I've heard that La Llorona is used as a tale to scare children from staying out at night and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so a lot of stories that get passed down, it ends up being like, don't stay out after dark, travel in numbers, go with an adult, don't speak to strangers. Like, it turns into that kind of story, and that's what it gets passed down as, like the legend. But people have actually witnessed La Llorona, so it's more than just the legend.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but she can like, she is not a or a water-based creature. She can obviously go wherever she pleases, and people have heard her like outside of their homes, either looking for her children or beckoning children to come outside and follow her to the lake so that she can, drown them.
Good Lord, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So children and adults have different experiences with them or with her. Obviously, children hear her saying, come with me because she's going to drown them. And then adults normally hear, like, I'm looking for my children. I can't find my children, or hear that deafening screech at the river or the lake. Also, it's said that if you hear her, if you hear the screeching, chances are you're going to face your own death pretty soon, or you're believed to be marked for death.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so like,
great. That's only 600% terrifying.
Yeah, be rough. Also, if you see her as an adult, it could mean that you have been marked to forever help her search for her own children. So she chose you, and instead of you passing on to whatever belief you believe in as an afterlife, you also get stuck in the weird limbo with her, searching for her children.
Bitch, I didn't kill your damn kids.
Right? Like,
don't take
this
me.
isn't my fault.
I got other shit to do.
I want to go see my
haunt
family.
My sister.
Yeah, fuck you. I got shit to do.
Two very different.
Yeah, I want to see my family. Technically, you also want to see your family, just in a different way. So,
True that. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, and then I have it again. She attacks cheating husbands. See, that's what she does. My notes are like super.
It's good. Yeah. I feel like everything is like that right now.
Yeah, that's like the story of my life right now. I feel like all I've done is slept for the past 2 days, and I'm still tired. So, Sure. Yeah. Super cool. Well, yes. So I looked up, like I do with all of my creatures, how do you defeat them or ward them off, or like, that kind of thing. You don't is... general.
I was expecting something else, and here's the neat part. You don't.
General consensus is, if you don't give her the power, she doesn't bug you. So like, a lot of people are just like, just don't believe in her. Like, meh. But also like, I believe there's some people out there that didn't believe or didn't even know about her, and it wasn't until later that they found out that they saw La Llorona. So like, do what you want. Apparently she doesn't give a fuck. So she's going to do what she wants. Having the knowledge of like her history, which I mean, fuck if you can find the real one. Like, I guess if you figure out what history you want to believe, that can help you like not give her power over you, because you're like, look, you're the one that fucking drowned them. Not my fault, bitch. So...
Right.
Yeah. The only other thing that I saw that you could quote unquote do to protect yourself would be to put like wooden crosses above your doorways to ward off evil spirits. But that's just like evil spirits in general, not specifically La Llorona. So like, just run away if you hear her,
and don't fucking stop.
Yeah. Do not stop. I didn't see anything about her coming into homes. Like, I know that's like a thing with like some ghosts, they just like come in. This is always like, it's outside the home. So apparently if you can close the door, she can't function. She doesn't know how to work a doorknob. I guess they didn't have doorknobs back then. So
fair.
So apparently just run like hell, say, I don't believe in you, and get inside. Yeah.
Good game plan.
Yeah. Good game plan. I feel like I do that with most people. So
you just running down the street. You see some dude running down the street and he's screaming, I don't believe in you.
You're like, He saw La Llorona.
La Llorona.
La Llorona's getting him. Gonna be rough. Terrible. So anyways, obviously she is a big thing in Mexican, Spanish culture. I mean, even in Texas, a lot of people hear about it.
Mhm.
Really, anywhere. It's not like she is specific to a certain area. I mean, obviously her tale is specific, but wherever. Apparently, water is a big deal. So I guess if you are near any body of water, she could be there. So if you're in an island, like that sucks because she's everywhere.
Yeah. It's literally just water.
Yeah, but since it is a big thing in like Mexico, in the city of Xochimilco, Mexico, they actually have turned the legend of La Llorona into an entire attraction. So they have like a 3-hour tour, not Gilligan's Island.
That's immediately what I thought.
There's a 3-hour tour that is on like this like boat dinner theater kind of thing. It looks like from I don't know. It looks like this giant raft with like a giant table. It can seat about 20 people. So I believe there's food and drinks that are involved. But there's an entire show about La Llorona. It's only like 45 minutes, but the whole tour, because you go down like a river and everything, it's 3 hours.
That would be a blast.
It would be. For $570, you can get your seat. But Taylor, if we know 20 people and we want to rent the whole thing, it's only $880, which to be honest is quite a deal. If one ticket is $570, that's quite a deal.
Shit, I think between the two of us, we could come up with 20 people.
Yeah, sure. And if they all cancel, well, then that sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting whenever I was looking up, because I was trying to look up Xochitl stuff and it kept pulling up the city and the actual like tour that they do. It's like, it's a big deal. So like with Day of the Dead, and they'll mention La Llorona and stuff in different festivals. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So with that, I did find a couple stories that I thought I would share. Taylor perked up. She's like, yeah, story time.
I like story time.
Story time. Okay. All right. So this one is from user DeGingerDog85. DeGingerDog85.
Okay.
I think that's probably the best part. Like, if you guys send in listener tales or something like that or whatever, just give me like a random username and then try to have me pronounce it, because like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that'll be the main feature of our listener stories, is Whitney trying to pronounce random usernames.
They just like smash their hands on the keyboard and it's like, yeah. All right, so one night, it was just like any other night that I lived in a trailer with my mom and my dad. My youngest brother was staying with my aunt this particular night. I fell asleep watching Jay Leno as usual. When I woke up, I was on the sofa in the living room. This person was also 11. I cut out a little bit. They were 11 at the time. Okay. The time was 4 a.m., which illuminated from the stove in the kitchen. The television was off, and normally I had a light on, but this time it was pitch black. I woke up and I heard a terrible screaming that was coming from far in the distance. The screaming was coming from a ditch that was a few feet away from my house. I heard it and I thought I was hearing things. I asked myself, am I dreaming? Then I started to hear the animals outside howling and whimpering. These animals that I speak of are cats and dogs. As the screaming got closer, the animals continued to cry. The screaming was something I have never experienced ever before. It sounded like I was in a big hallway and a woman was screaming her guts down the hallway. Then in all the screaming, I started to make out words. These words being said by whoever this was at 4 a.m. screaming their guts out shocked me. The woman said, "Ay, mis hijos." Hijos, aka, oh, my children. In a huge panic, I quickly got up from the sofa and ran to the kitchen, which was right next to where I slept. I turned on the closet light and I looked around. The screaming didn't stop. In fact, the screaming only got louder and closer. I questioned my sanity at the moment. Was I going crazy or hearing things? Then I thought to myself, this is real, and the animals are responding to it in a negative way. I did what any other 11-year-old boy would do in a moment like this. I ran to my mom and dad's room. I reached for my mom and I shook her awake wildly. She woke up slowly, and to my amazement, the screaming faded away as she woke. I thought to myself, what the heck is going on? I told my mother, Mom, do you hear that screaming and crying lady? And my mom was half asleep, and she said, go back to sleep. It's most likely just in your imagination. I told her, no, this is real. Please listen. Don't you hear her? My mom quickly said, you're just dreaming. Go back to sleep. It's going to be okay. By then, the screaming had faded, long away, like if whoever was screaming knew that an adult was awake. I was terrified as I returned to the living room and quickly turned on the television as I left most of the lights on as well. I didn't go back to sleep until the sun came up. I couldn't believe what I heard and witnessed. I was treated like a crazy person whenever I told my story. It got so bad that I kept my experience to myself. To this day, I don't care what people think of my experience. I know what I heard. A couple of years later, it happened to me again.
Ooh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like she's tracking him.
Or, I mean, if it's the same location that it happened again.
She's on that ditch.
Yeah. So she just...
Dang.
She La Llorona's there, man.
La Llorona
La
there.
Llorona.
La Llorona está aquí.
All right.
Moving
on. So this is from user NM Nurse 1. She starts off by saying, so if you know Mexican/Hispanic folklore, then you know about La Llorona. If not, I suggest looking into her story. Or just like hit rewind and you can listen to this whole episode again if you really feel like it.
Episodeception.
Dun, dun, dun. So my mom was 10 years old and lived next to a small ditch next to the highway. She stayed at her friend's house, which was a little closer to the ditch. The day went normal, riding bikes, playing typical girl stuff. Then night came, and they knew it was time to get home once the streetlights came on. Which, yeah, I mean, that was always our thing. When the lights come on, you got to be going home.
That was our role.
They were sitting in a friend's bedroom, radio on, listening to music and playing a card game. It was already dark out, and the music from the stereo filled the room. Now, my mom's friend lived with her mom and grandma, who both spoke fluent Spanish. My mom understood it, but could not speak it. My mom developed this overwhelming sense of anxiety and terror. Then it started, crying. The girls both heard it, but brushed it off as a cat or a drunken neighbor. Which, wow, like, how drunk is your neighbor?
Right?
Wow. I mean,
damn.
Okay, like, I get it. Maybe they're coming home and they're that drunk girl. I've been there. I didn't want to, but I was. So,
but you drank it.
But you drink it. Best advice ever. Okay. Soon, the crying began to become louder and more obnoxious, like it wanted to be heard. The girls paused what they were doing, staring out the window. Once they looked that way, the crying became ear-splitting, so loud it resonated over the stereo, both girls having hands over their ears, fearful of what was happening. The grandma burst into the room, holy water in one hand and a rosary in the other. She was screaming over the crying, praying in Spanish. My mom says that when she did this, the radio started to static and the lights began to flicker. Both the crying and the praying booming extremely loud until quiet. It all stopped. The grandma said a prayer over my mom and her granddaughter and made them go into the living room, instructing them not to return to that room for the night and not to look out the window. My mom returned home in the morning, not speaking of what had happened. Even when she tells the story now, an overwhelming sense of fear takes over her and she gets goosebumps.
Ugh, I don't like that. I don't like the thought of something lurking outside my window in the dark, like stalking me. That just gives me the heebies. I can't do it.
Yeah. So,
dang.
So that's the La Llorona. And, run away.
Run away! Do not stop!
Which you should do for most crying women. I know for me. Don't cry like La Llorona, because that means you did some shit. So just cry.
You did some shit.
But crying is good. Crying is super healthy.
It is.
So, yeah.
Yes.
I'm healthy as fuck.
Mental health, people. I'm healthy as fuck.
Healthy as fuck. But.
Yeah. And don't drown your kids.
Yeah.
Life lessons from the Ghost Sisters.
Like, first off, all right, so don't be blaming the other woman unless they knew about it, okay? Don't be drowning your children.
Legit.
Really, that should be reversed. It should be don't drown your children. Don't.
It really should.
And cry it out every now and then, man. Let it out.
Yeah, don't keep that shit bottled up.
Maybe that would
Talk to a therapist.
Maybe that's what La Llorona really wants. She wants a sympathy crier like me. And so, like, she would start crying, and then I would start crying, and she would be like, you hear me? And then she would poof out of existence.
let's go find out. Let's go try.
I'm just going to cry out a ghost.
Yep, 100%. Llarona will be like off in the distance. We'll hear her screaming. I'll be like, and go. And you'll just.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. And just like bawling my eyes out. And she's like, God, fuck you. You're way too much. I gotta go. I gotta bounce.
This bitch.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
Well, cool. I liked it.
Great. So,
excellent.
I don't know what we've got coming up next or anything. I know we got to do the evidence review at some point when we can be together.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. And then I do have the third part of my paranormal equipment.
Okay.
Oh, Whitney's face is like, I'm not sure I'm ready for that. we've still got a little bit more.
So technical.
But I could do, I'm thinking about doing something about like one of the triangles, like Bermuda Triangle or Bridgewater or something like that. Finding creepy things.
Cool.
So we'll see. We'll see what we land on. I will warn y'all, it is finals week for me, which means having to get grades in and being the dean, I have to, it gets real stressful. So we'll see how the next couple weeks go, but we'll hang in there.
But at least you have cake.
We do have cake. Whitney made us a lovely carrot cake, which we're going to have for our division meeting. I'm very excited.
Woohoo.
So, yeah. And I've already had a couple people write into theghostsisterstx@gmail.com
cool.
with their own listener stories. That's exciting. So if you have a listener story, please send it to us because we would love to do a whole thing on like a whole episode of just listener stories. That would be a lot of fun. So, yeah. If y'all want to email us, I already gave the email.
Did you?
Yeah. I said theghostsisterstx@gmail.com. Insta is theghostsisterstx, and then everywhere else is the Ghost Sisters.
See, this is how bad it is you say something and then like 2 minutes later, I don't remember it.
It's good.
It's amazing.
That's where it's just
that
mental capacity now.
Yeah, it's amazing that I know like what I have to do in a day because like apparently I can't remember jack shit.
That's legit. I don't have the bandwidth for a lot of things right now. I'm hanging in there.
I have system error.
Doing the best I can.
System error all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you guys for listening.
Yes, and we will spook you later.
Spook you later, bichachos.
Bichachos. Bye. Bye.